Her kitchen is where the magic is made.
Hi there, welcome to my channel or welcome back. I'm Holly, your friendly neighborhood carnivore, and I'm so happy you could join me today. Today we're going to be making something kind of weird, a little fun, but we're just going to make a fun treat. We're going to be making egg yolk fries. So when this video airs, I will be 1 week away from being a 3-year carnivore. And today's video is just a little treat, something I enjoy, but I just want to start off by saying there are people out there that are going to say, why are you always trying to recreate a version of something that you used to eat that wasn't low carb or zero carb or whatever? So let me just start by saying, over the years, I have learned several things about how I eat and things that make me happy and things that make my body feel good. Back before I was carnivore, I was keto, and back before I was keto, I was a standard American diet girl who was suffering, and I suffered from a lot of things. And I'm not going to go into that, but I will say that with all of the suffering, I never knew that it was food that is what made me feel bad and was what kept me sick until I actually changed what I was eating and got to a place of better health. My first baby step into better health was cutting out gluten. And when I cut out the gluten, I was still trying to make all of the things that I enjoyed before. I was just making a gluten-free version. So I would have gluten-free pizza, gluten-free cookies, gluten-free muffins, gluten-free bread. All the things that I used to enjoy, I just cut out the gluten. And then when I took another baby step and I went keto, I did the same thing. I had the same cycle. And I tried to keto-fy all of the things. And I would make the low carb muffins and low carb cookies and low carb bread. Most of that would be with almond flour. And that was the process that I took. And it wasn't until I segued into following a carnivore diet that I realized I really do not need all of these replacement foods, right? Like, I don't need bread, I don't need muffins, I don't need cookies. I can be fine without all of that. But that doesn't mean that sometimes I can't have something that's enjoyable just because it is a different variation of something I would have had in my past. For example, back when I was eating a standard American diet, I would have pizza. And then when I was having a standard American diet without gluten, I was having a gluten-free pizza. And then when I was keto, I was having a fathead dough pizza. And now, being carnivore, there are a lot of carnivores out there making carnivore pizzas. And I used to eat a sausage crust pizza. Those were delicious. I've made chicken crust pizzas. There's a lot of different things you can do to enjoy these foods that you used to enjoy. Now, some people, if they want a pizza, they're gonna say, you know what, I'm just gonna go eat that pizza and that's what it is. If you're one of those people and you can go off plan and enjoy something like that, go for it. I'm not stopping you and I'm not judging you. I'm here to tell you I cannot do that. I can't. It hurts. It causes me pain. It makes me sick. I do not feel well and I don't like feeling sick, especially when I can control it. So, with zero judgment, eat what you want, enjoy what you want. I make these videos because I eat a certain way. I share what I eat every day online. On X and on Instagram, you will see every single day I post what I eat. And people like to ask, how did you make that? What do you put in this? It is I do like to have a variety of foods in my diet, and sometimes having a fun little treat that reminds me of something from my past is just something fun that keeps this sustainable for me. It's something I can eat and enjoy and have those nostalgic moments and remember the fun times that I had, but still get to enjoy these similar type things now without it being me trying to replace everything with that version. For the most part, I eat fairly boring. I eat a whole lot of eggs and I eat a lot of meat. I do switch it up. I do like a lot of variety here and there, but I, just like a lot of other carnivores, will get in a rut and will have my favorites, and I just eat the same thing over and over. And I love that. But sometimes I want to switch it up and I want to do something fun. So today, I thought I would share my fun food with you. I used to eat French fries like many people. French fries were, I mean, they're just good and salty and they're fun to dip in things, you know, they're great. So I used to eat French fries, and when I was keto, I had a keto-fied version of a fry. Now this was, I remember it was a viral recipe that was going around when I was keto, and you basically were making a dough out of almond flour and xanthan gum and water, and you would make a dough, roll it out, cut it into little French fry shapes, and fry it up. Give a very similar texture to a French fry. Did it taste like a potato? No. Was it fun to eat? Heck yeah, I love those. They were a lot of fun, but I don't do those anymore because I don't do the almonds, the almond flour. I stay away from the oxalates and all that. I've got my own version of fries that I make. I make them from egg yolks and beef gelatin, and it's kind of a similar process where I'm making a dough and then I'm cutting it up and I'm going to fry these little strips and I'm gonna enjoy them. So I can't wait to share this with you guys. I'm really excited about it.
We're starting out with 4 egg yolks. Add a pinch of salt, and then let's break up those yolks and start to stir them just a little bit. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of beef gelatin. We're going to use a fork to stir this up. Mix it up really well, making sure you're scraping down the sides of the bowl to get all of that gelatin off the sides and incorporate it into those yolks. You don't want any of that gelatin left stuck to the side of the bowl. It's going to get very thick. Go ahead and squish it and knead it as much as you can with that fork. This is going to turn into the consistency of more of a cookie dough. You see, I've traded out that fork for a spatula. I just want to make sure I've got everything scraped down so I can transfer this onto some parchment paper. Once we get our dough laid out on the parchment paper and spread out as nicely as we can, we're going to lay another piece of parchment on top. And then we want to flatten this out. I recommend using a rolling pin. You're going to want to roll it out about 1/4 of an inch thick. Once the dough is all rolled out, it's now time to peel back the parchment paper. And then we need to cut the dough. You can either use a crinkle cut like I have, you can use a flat edge, or if you just want to use a knife, you can use a knife. I'm going to go ahead and use my crinkle cutter because I have one and it doesn't get used as often as it used to. For the cutting process, I'm going to start by cutting off the edges. That way I can get this into a nicer shape. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut it in half. And from there, I'm going to go ahead and cut it into sections of fries. This is a friendly reminder that while you're cutting these fries, it would be a good time to already have some tallow in a skillet on the stove heating up so that you're ready to fry as soon as you get done cutting. And here is what they look like after they've been cut. They almost look like sweet potato fries. Moving over here to the stove top, we are going to drop some of our egg yolk fries into this hot, sizzling tallow. Make sure you spread them out a bit so that they have enough room where they are not touching in your skillet. I will show you in a minute what happens when they get a little bit overcrowded. We're just going to let these sizzle for a little while, and then we're going to flip them over and we're going to let them sizzle a little while longer. Basically, you just want to wait until they look like a yummy fried food that you would want to eat. I'm going to remove this first batch, drain off some of that tallow, and then I'm going to move these over to a paper towel. Now I'm going to put my next batch in, and I'm going to crowd these so you can see what happens when they get too close to each other. That's right, let's pretend I did this on purpose. So these little guys are in the skillet and they're sizzling away, and they look like they're not touching. But what's happening is the beef gelatin in them is kind of spreading out a little bit from them in the oil, and it is sticking to the other ones. So when I try to flip these over, it's like they're holding hands and they don't want to let go of each other. Eventually, I had to grab another spatula as some reinforcements so I could get these little guys to flip over, but it worked out okay. I do recommend you either work in smaller batches so that you have plenty of space between them, or use a much larger skillet so they have plenty of space to spread out. These are looking beautiful and ready to come out. We're going to transfer them over to the paper towel, and while they are piping hot, we want to sprinkle with our seasoning salt. I'm using Redmond Real Salt brand organic seasoned salt. It's my favorite.
We've got our egg yolk fries. I've got a little cup of some sugar-free ketchup here, but you don't have to use ketchup. You could go with gravy. You can tolerate dairy. This would make an amazing plate of carnivore poutine. So seriously, this is gonna open up a whole lot of things. Now, I cheated. I just tried one because I couldn't not, and these are really good. So let me show you, tell you what, let me see if I can take that off the plate so you can get a better view here. These are lovely little fried sticks of egg yolks. I'm gonna try it plain. And I'm gonna try one dipped in a little bit of ketchup. These are such a fun treat. Do they taste like potato? No. Do they remind me of French fries? Yes. The gelatin in them makes them nice and crispy. The fact that I'm frying it in beef tallow definitely brings me the thought of French fries. Like the flavor and the smell of the tallow with it is definitely bringing the French fries in there. And then I use Redmond seasoning salt, and I don't know about you, but I don't think a French fry is a French fry without some seasoning salt. So it just was perfect. So it's got a nice bite to it. It's got a little bit of that crispy crunch, but it's still soft in the middle. This is such a fun way to enjoy a fatty little treat of egg yolks. I hope you guys will give this a try. It was a lot of fun to make. It was a really quick recipe, and it's just delicious and fun. If you guys want to see what I eat over on X or on Instagram, or you want to come chit chat with me over there, you can find me over on X at Carnivore Friend and on Instagram at Friendly Neighborhood Carnivore. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and definitely leave me a comment. I love talking to you guys. And like I said, if you want to find me over on X or Instagram, I enjoy chit chatting with you guys over there as well. All right, I will see you guys next time when we're cooking up something delicious in the kitchen. Bye.
She's the friendly neighborhood carnivore with a talent for cooking up a meaty uproar. From juicy steaks to sizzling ribs galore, she'll have you coming back for more. Fellas, smash that like button. She's the carnivore cooking queen. On your screen, bringing the meaty scene. Come on over and join the team for a culinary dream.